And we once again to Slime Isekai Memories. Today, we are doing the brand new event. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in Tempest? Part 1/Part 2. This is a collab with Don Machi, or is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon? This is a pretty awesome collab to be paired with Don Machi, because it's another fantasy series. It's not an isekai series, but just fantasy. So we kind of love to see that. And I am kind of a fan of Don Machi. I watched up to the 3rd season. I still haven't gotten to the 4th season, so there might be some things that I don't know. But this Belle looks at least up to the 3rd season, maybe 2nd season. I forget when he got that armor. But anyway, let's get into the event. Yep, everything's already been unlocked since it's been a while. So it's gonna have Belle, Hestia, I forget the elf girl's name, and Eyes. So at the very least 4 characters. They are missing some important characters, like Belle's adventuring team. They always bring Hestia because his goddess has to be around to show his interactions. Eyes is also always around because they need to show his love interest that he's pining for. I don't know why they brought the elf. I'm guessing to show off another girl that's kind of in Belle's harem. They didn't bring Lily or their blacksmith guy or their arrow girl. I forget their names since it's been such a while. Alright, let's start part 1. Irregular, part 1. I'm scared! Belle! Let's just get a good look at these guys. I would say Hestia's model is pretty good. I don't like Belle's, because I feel like he's supposed to be skinnier, and the armor doesn't look as good in a 3D model than in 2D. But yeah, Hestia looks really good. They actually got her pretty well in this game's art style. Goddess! How did you get in the dungeon? Alright, so we get to see some other characters with their 3D models. I'm guessing everyone is going to be a banner unit. So, Eyes doesn't look that bad. It is still kind of weird. Why does her armor have such a big opening at her breastplate? Like, wouldn't they want to cover that up? I know it's kind of just stylish for the character design, but it's also so impractical to have it slightly open. But overall, she looks great. She looks like herself, like her 2D version. Wait, when did we even regroup? This is some wildly abnormal situation we're in. And here's the elf girl as well. She looks pretty good. Yeah, I would say she looks exactly like her 2D version. Nothing was lost in translation. We need to gather more information. Huh? Let's go save her! Oh! Wait up, Belle! So I am very confused about this situation. So were they going adventuring in the dungeon and somehow Hestia just tagged along, but they didn't notice? And they didn't bring their normal party members Like, this is kind of a weird team-up. I know Belle, Eyes, and that elf girl are friends. Well, it's more of everyone's a friend to Belle, and I'm guessing they both volunteered. But this is a pretty high-level team, and they are missing some supporters, so their team comp isn't great. Lady Hestia! We better join them. Sure. Some tens of minutes ago, at the entrance of the dungeon, I'm feeling nervous, but let's do this. Yes, alright. Let the dungeon trial mission commence. On the 30th floor of the dungeon, Shuna's team has probably entered by now. I love this! What a good idea to have those who are unfamiliar with the dungeon try it out and share their opinions with us. So, Ramorous, I guess, is still testing out the dungeon she revealed in Season 3. Guessing this is slightly before the tournament/festival. So they're still testing out the dungeon to make sure it's safe for people, and even have some people that have different power sets or hardly do any dungeon or exploring try it out. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of the dungeon's difficulty when you entered it so many times. If we're not careful, we could actually end up making the lower levels way too hard for beginners. Heh. But now I'll be one step closer to making the perfect labyrinth. On the first floor of the dungeon, this is nothing for us. Feels like we'll get through the first floor in no time. Yes, but we need to proceed carefully and observe the entire floor. It's important that we don't overlook anything that could be potentially dangerous for beginners. Ah, you're right. Okay, I'll be careful. It's another magical beast! On the 30th floor of the dungeon, are you sure about making this floor the finishing line? That's a bit of a weird line. Making this floor the finishing line. Like, she should just say finish line instead of finishing line. Yep, I just want them to test out the floors that your everyday, run-of-the-mill adventure can get through. Wait, what the heck? Ramorous? Huh? Hey! What's going on here? Notice, an unknown energy has infiltrated the dungeon. I assume that the individual, Ramorous, has lost consciousness due to its influence. The energy that has infiltrated this place is vast. Both immediate analysis and containment are difficult. Evacuation is recommended. I'm guessing what happened in the Overlord collab is also happening here, where because of the spatial anomaly, whatever dimensions, whatever they want to call it this time, wormhole energy is flowing into the dungeon. Since Nazarick was a dungeon and was full of magic, it was able to connect to Ramorous' dungeon. And I'm guessing this is happening again, but for the Danmachi dungeon. Since they're both made of magic, they're somehow able to connect with each other. Are you serious? I need to go see if Shuna and Soka are alright. Huh? My transfer magic's not working. Notice, the infiltrated energy is causing structural changes to the labyrinth. Pinpointing the coordinates for teleportation is proving to be difficult. Therefore, you cannot directly transport yourself to the first floor. You've got to be kidding me! On the 23rd floor of the dungeon. Good. I can still teleport short distances. If I keep repeating this, I'll... Wait! This floor looks completely different from before! Affirmative. The floor is going through structural changes due to the influx of energy. The available routes to transfer through are decreasing as we speak. Please move quickly. Seriously? Damn it! Please be safe, you two! On the first floor of the dungeon. So can't they just leave the dungeon? I forget the rules of this dungeon, but isn't it everyone can go up the dungeon as much as they want? But I don't think there's a rule about leaving the dungeon. So they could just walk out the front door if they know where it is. But maybe the dungeon has changed too much to where the entrance is on a different floor. Or maybe not in the same place as it was on the first floor. Ack! Alright, Shuna and Hestia's outfit. The outfit looks great on her, although it doesn't look as amazing as it does on Hestia. I'm trying to see, is it 1-to-1? I need to see Hestia and Shuna side to side to see how 1-to-1 it is. Ha! Firebolt! Are you alright, Miss Shuna? Yes. Thank you. How did she even end up in that outfit? Did the monsters destroy her outfit and so she had to change? Plus, you know Shuna has to be very embarrassed about being in that outfit. That outfit shows a lot more skin than Shuna normally shows. Here comes another one. I'll keep it busy. Now go! Ha! Wait, what's going on? Who are those adventurers with Shuna and Soka? Whoa! Someone just appeared! Great Rimuru! Wow, I thought this would have taken a lot longer for Rimuru to get to the bottom. Like, I know he instantly got to 7 floors, but going straight down 23 floors, or I guess 22 floors, is quite impressive, because it only felt like a minute or two had passed. But I guess they've probably been fighting for an hour, if not like 30 minutes. Do you know him? He's our master. Master? They don't look familiar, huh? Yep, this is the group shot we wanted to see of everyone together. What an interesting soul. And here you get a good look at both of them side by side. So yeah, the outfits are exactly the same. It's just Hestia has some bigger features. And I think Hestia's ponytails are also longer. Like, Hestia's are all the way past her skirts and past her butt, while Shuna's is more near her back. Why is Shuna wearing the same thing as that person? I have no idea why the dungeon's gone all weird and everything. Huh? Shuna, watch out! Honestly, I don't really get what's going on. But anyone who dares lay a finger on my friend gets what's coming to them. Alright, the end of part 1. Alright, now I have to build a team. So we'll see what the team meta or whatever is supposed to be for this event. Alright, so this is the best team that I could make at the moment. So yeah, Lily Ruka is in this collab, but I guess just not as an actual character. Maybe she'll appear in part 2 or in the Predator battle, but she's just a free-to-play card. And we have this Soka in Gale Ninja, so she's just in the outfit of the elf girl. Interesting outfits, and putting one of the side characters as a leader. Let's get this over with. Let's see some of what's her name's attacks. So she's a magic user? Because that looked like a magic attack. I don't want to see his ending animation. Also, what is that? Books? Slime books? I don't remember anything in Danmachi as like why books would be important. Strangers! Otherworldly adventures. I wonder if Rimaru's actually gonna say anything of like, yeah, we've been dealing with this. But then again, Otherworlders are kind of normal in Slime. So he might not mention any of the other Isekai / collabs that they've had in the past. Phew! Looks like we've taken down all the nearby threats. But why would there be such strong magical beasts on the first floor? At first, they were just normal magical beasts. But then, an unexpectedly strong enemy showed up and caught us off guard, putting us in a defensive position. It was then Bell and his party appeared and saved us. After that, we were still attacked several times, but we worked together and somehow managed to hold on until now. I do kinda hate it when they don't show us the initial meeting of characters in these collabs. Because I know Rimaru's the main character, so we mostly follow him, but I want to see other characters when they first interact with the collab characters. Because I want to see like how aggressive or how friendly everyone is the first time meeting. Whenever we see it like this perspective from Rimaru, where he's the last one meeting the characters, it's less exciting because everyone's already friendly with each other. And if Rimaru sees his allies being friendly with the collab characters, he's just gonna be friendly as well. And that's not really anything unique from what we already see from Rimaru. I see. Then we'll need to thank them properly. By the way, what happened to your clothes, Shuna? They got torn in battle. But fortunately, I picked up enough cloth from the dropped items, so in between enemy waves, I made an outfit modeled off Hestia's. It looked like it wouldn't take much material to make. Wow. So she was able to make a outfit during battle between when enemies were attacking. And she just decided that Hestia's outfit was good enough to make. Couldn't with that material she just repair her main outfit? Unless she used her outfit to make that outfit. But yeah, Hestia's outfit really doesn't look like much. It just looks like torn cloth, just converted into a dress. So I can see why she would decide to make that outfit. But she also could have made a bunch of other outfits. Like, does she really need the gloves? She could have used that to cover up more of her legs or anywhere else. Or why did she make the hair things? Ah, I see. So that's why you're wearing the same thing. Well, we can talk about what happened before I got here, but... Oh, sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. Thanks for saving my friends. I'm Rimuru Tempest, the Chancellor of Tempest. Tempest? Oh, I'm Belle Cranell, an adventurer. This here is Miss Eyes, Miss Ryu, and... I'm Hestia, patron god of the Hestian Familia. A patron god? You're a goddess? Notice, I am detecting an unknown energy coming from the target. The details are unclear. Would you like me to analyze it? Intriguing, but let's not do it just yet. Seems like you're confused. Mr. Rimuru, was it? Do you know what's going on here? This place is full of unfamiliar monsters. I don't know the details, but something pretty abnormal is happening. As one of the dungeon managers, I sincerely apologize for this. Manager? You manage a dungeon? I've never heard of such a thing. Huh? Wait, the dungeon was off limits today except for Shuna and Soka. So how did you guys get in here? Off limits? No one mentioned anything to us about that. Yeah, besides, even if we did know, there was nothing we could do. After all, it's not like we tried to enter this dungeon. What do you mean? We were just about to head to the dungeon in the town of Aurorio, when suddenly, everything went dark. And then somehow, we ended up here. So they were in the middle of the town and got sucked up. Aurorio? I've never heard of such a place. Wait, so that must mean... What is it? So you guys arrived at the dungeon at the same time. But do you remember what you were doing before that? I was just saying Belle off. I was in our dungeon. I wasn't with the Sword Princess, but I was in the very same dungeon when suddenly everything went dark, and I ended up here like everyone else. Can I ask you something, Raphael? It's about that firebolt magic that Belle just used. Answer. It's an unknown magic, completely different from any magic I've observed so far. That means... Affirmative. It seems that they are from another world. Um, I know this may sound wild, but it seems you guys are from another world to us. Huh? Another world? And so, we're kinda used to having visitors from other worlds, you see? But in what sense is he saying that? So, is it like all the collab people? Or is he just saying in general, because of how common it is to see another worlder? But it could be related to the anomalies currently happening to the dungeon. I'd like to investigate what happened here, but we don't have enough personnel to do a proper investigation. So could you help us try to get out of here instead? Of course! We don't want to keep the goddess trapped in such a dangerous place. I want to hear more about you guys, including the part about the goddess. So let's try to reach the surface together. Lady Hestia, we'll escort you to the surface. Shall I piggyback you? Are you trying to say I'll hold the party back? Fine, but I'll have Belle piggyback me instead. Alright, let's head on up. But goddess! An enemy. Belle, keep protecting Lady Hestia. I'll go up front. Then I'll provide support. They sure are a lively party. Aiz and Ryu are without a doubt skillful. I must learn from them. Haha. Alright, let's go then. I wonder if part 1 is just gonna end with them getting out of the dungeon. So it's gonna take the entirety of this event for them to get out. Well, I guess half the event. And then the other half is them trying to figure out a way to get back home. But being on the overworld. Because either it's going to be a portal, like, above ground, or maybe it's the dungeon itself that they need to deal with. Since there's probably some magic colliding in the dungeon that probably creates the portal back home. Those are just my 2 guesses on how this could possibly end. Survey Exploration, Part 1. Woo! We managed to survive. What's the matter? The enemy just now. It was stronger than the ones from before. You're right. It was clearly stronger. I'm surprised the rule of having weaker monsters on the higher floors has been completely turned upside down. Come to think of it, things were rapidly changing as I was teleporting through the floors. I guess this phenomenon is still going on as we speak. Huh? Sounds like we shouldn't stay here for much longer. It makes no sense how this is all happening on the first floor. Anyway, let's find the exit, and quick. Have they just been carrying Ramorous around this entire time? Or I guess Rimuru has. Or did she just teleport here because everything is changing? Oh! Ramorous! You're awake! Huh? Yeah. Wait! What happened? I forget, is there any beings like fairies in Danmachi? Because I think there may be some monsters, but I don't think there's any sentient beings like Ramorous in Danmachi, so how are they gonna react to a fairy? I know you only just woke up, but it's an emergency. Can you check whether you're able to control the labyrinth? Control the labyrinth? Rimuru and everything about this world is just unbelievable. 1 second. No, it's no good. It won't budge. I don't know why, but it doesn't even feel like my labyrinth. Seriously, this is worse than I thought. Well, sorry for pushing you. You can rest now. I took a quick look around, and things have changed significantly from what we saw earlier. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on. I think it's fair to say that the dungeon changed into something completely unknown. I can't believe we don't even know how dangerous the first floor is. Maybe that strange feeling the fairy girl sensed earlier was the presence of the dungeon from our world. The thing about the Danmachi dungeon is that it's either living or the magic is so strong that it seems like it's living. Because it creates its own monsters, unlike Ramorous' dungeon, which needs Veldora to create monsters. I agree. Something here reminds me of the atmosphere you feel when you reach a floor for the first time. Don't move! That's a trap! A trap? Is it man-made? I don't remember setting one there, but we did originally set some traps, so they're not artificial. I'll disable it, so please wait a second. Please show me the procedure. Perhaps I'll be able to disable them myself if I can find a pattern. By all means, we'd be able to traverse faster if both of us could disable them. Ryu has incredible stealth skills. I'm getting tense just from her overwhelming presence. I am kinda confused about this. Is somehow Soka using thought communication to speak to Rimuru? Because it seems like she's trying to think to herself, but is accidentally using thought communication? Or does she really want to tell Rimuru all this information? Because it just seems like she's fangirling about Ryu and wouldn't want to share that stuff. Or is Rimuru just using thought communication to read his subordinates' minds? That's kind of a bad thing to do, reading his subordinates' thoughts without asking. Is anything wrong? Well, it's just that you guys seem so familiar with this place. Isn't it your first time here? Huh? Yeah, it's our first time here. Yeah, I know, but I get the feeling that you're used to taking on new challenges. Well, that's what dungeon exploring is all about, no? Of course, if one of us has already explored a certain area, we usually have some information to work with ahead of time. But even then, the situation changes every time. Oh yeah, you're right. I totally forgot since I'm usually the one setting up the dungeon. That feeling of not knowing what awaits, or what's going to come at you. And yet, being able to explore with that uncertainty. Bill and his party must be incredible adventurers. This presence. Mr. Rimuru! Ack! Firebolt! Whoa! It's like this thing's coming just for me! What? Why is she just T-posing? I don't think this is supposed to happen. I kinda want to reload the cutscene and just make sure that this is supposed to happen, but she's blinking and seems to be doing normal things, but she's just T-posing. I owe you one, Wallen, what's it? Instead of calling her Eyes, she tries to refer to her by her last name. Wallenstein is how I think you're supposed to say her last name. But because Hestia doesn't really care about Eyes, she doesn't even try to fully say it. Monsters being born from the walls. That's just like the dungeon we know. I've got a bad feeling about this. Great Rimuru! Even if we disarm the trap, another one immediately pops up. What? I've got the gist from watching her just now. We'll go around disarming the traps. The magical beast! The traps! Everything here is off the scale! It's been a while since I felt like I'm taking on a real challenge. So things are getting crazier. It seems like both dungeons are melding together, becoming a super dungeon. I really hope they bring in an enemy from Danmachi into this collab. Like, let us fight the Minotaur. He's perfect for a boss-type enemy at the very end. I know Danmachi really doesn't have a singular main villain. They really can't bring in anyone to be the mastermind of this. Or maybe they can, but I'm pretty sure not. Okay, we're on the fourth one. Still one more to go before the end. Unbelievable! Formidable foe! We've looked everywhere, but we can't find the exit. Is it possible that there isn't an exit to begin with? That's possible. You know, parts of this dungeon seem familiar, but there is also things here that feel totally unique. This entire place feels like a weird mishmash. What do you mean? It has a similar atmosphere to ours. But in the dungeon we know, there are no man-made traps like the ones we've seen. I thought so too. For example, the place where we met Mishuna had a different vibe from ours. That's pretty intriguing. So you're saying that elements from both our dungeons have mixed together? Yes. I also feel like something's off. This dungeon just feels weird. I see. I'll keep that in mind. But how is that even possible? I can only speculate. But considering what's happened... Oh yeah, you're a goddess. What do you think, Hestia? Sorry, I don't know. I like this expression they gave Hestia. Like, it seems like her eyes are watering, like she's about to cry. So I don't know why they gave her this emote specifically, since nothing seems to be making her cry all throughout this event. Like, they couldn't just give her a regular thinking face? I see. I guess we're really stumped. Then how about we break open a hole? A hole in the dungeon? Are you serious? I'm against that. But what happens when you destroy a dungeon in this world? It'll probably just collapse as expected. That's why if things go well, we'll be able to get out of here. Well, if they're just making a single hole, I don't see why that would collapse the entirety of the dungeon. Like, maybe if they were destroying where there was a large pillar, I can see that collapsing the entire dungeon. But just making a hole in one of the walls couldn't, like, destroy the entirety of the place. Like, maybe collapse a little bit of the area around it. Like, over here, where there's these pillars, I could see a bit of this collapsing. But I can't see the entire thing collapsing just because they made a hole, like, right here. I mean, we won't know until we actually try. But there's nothing else we can do at this point. Stand back, guys. There! Whoa! I felt such a strong aftershock even from this distance. That sure was powerful. It's no good. I didn't even leave a mark on it. I feel like we might be able to avoid the worst if we can destroy the wall on this side of the world. What is it, Belle? Actually, that time when my magic missed and hit the ceiling, it actually left a mark. And I was thinking how strange it was that Mr. Rimuru's attack left no mark when it was stronger than mine. Are you suggesting that some ceilings might be more fragile than others? Yes, although I can't exactly say that for sure. Belle, show me where that spot was. It should be around here. What do you think, Raphael? Answer. It seems that the internal structure is currently unstable, and it has various weak points. This tensity is particularly evident among spots where the structures with two different properties are in contact. So the two dungeons are mixing together, but obviously not super well. In other words, the spots where the two dungeons meet is where it's the weakest. Affirmative. However, the merging is getting stronger, and is expected to eventually fuse completely. Then we'd better hurry. There! That was amazing, Great Rimuru! If you keep shooting away, maybe we'll be able to break free! Let me assist! Good, good! The hole's getting bigger! Let's go full throttle and break this thing wide open! Understood! Oh, I think I just saw a glimmer of light. Have we reached the surface? Mr. Rimuru, watch out! Huh? This thing's huge! You wouldn't expect something of this scale on the first floor. Watch out! Shuna! Miss Ryu! All I could do was barely distract it. No, you saved me. I can't believe that your attack hardly did any damage to it. Gah! The walls are closing in. You want us to defeat the magical beast and keep breaking the walls at the same time? Mr. Rimuru and his people's attacks are essential in breaking out of this dungeon. On the other hand, I don't have the power it takes. In that case... So this is just confirming that the slime people are stronger than Danmachi people in magic at the very least. Miss Shuna, please take care of the goddess. Huh? Belle? Belle? What are you doing? Leave it to me. Please just focus on breaking through the ceiling, Mr. Rimuru. Wait, Belle! Don't go charging in! I'm not done yet! Don't be reckless! It's prepared for your attack! Not so fast! That didn't go in deep enough! Another one! We can't analyze the merging dungeons, but Mr. Rimuru, you know enough about one of them. You might be able to find a way to break through. True. If I can't do it with my next attack, it might fully merge. Okay, I've got to believe. Believe in Belle and the adventures of Aurorio. Shuna, Soka, I'll send you where to attack with my thought communication. So start charging your powers to the fullest. Hang in there, everyone. I like how Hestia is not really doing anything. I know in Danmachi, the gods can't really do stuff, but I'm pretty sure they have some powers that they're allowed to use. And plus, she's not in her normal world, so the rules of why she usually can't do stuff shouldn't apply. Wow, already a boss? Or no way. Yeah, I guess this is the final battle, and then we have a epilogue cutscene. And damn! Kikoyo did so much. Man, I want to see Soka's animation. But they just keep showing me Kikoyo. Save point. Escape. It's still standing after all those attacks. But it's clearly getting weaker. Let's push through. Belle, stop being so reckless. This is actually kind of refreshing to have someone call Belle out on his recklessness, because I feel like he's done that a bunch of times in the series. Although in the past, every time that he's been reckless, it's been to make a point that he can stand with the other adventurers. Like the few times he had to fight against a Minotaur, and instead of asking for assistance, he did it all by himself while getting extremely beat up or facing some other monster. I'm fine! This monster is trying to protect the dungeon. As long as they keep attacking the walls, soon enough, it'll let its guard down. Yes, The moment it averts its eyes, I'll make my attack. Alright, but back out if it gets too risky. I'd better be ready to blast at any time. What's it gonna take to break through that wall? Beelzebub? It would have to be powerful enough to penetrate the wall, but it can't be so strong that it could harm the others. After all, we have no idea what it's like out there on the surface. The best thing would be to wipe out both the magical beast and the wall with just the right amount of force. But that's gonna be difficult with all this attention on me. I won't be able to get past its defense with a normal attack. I've gotta find a way to distract it. Wow! He keeps charging at it over and over again. Where does he get all that mental strength from? Bell! I'm not done! I ought to blast one soon. Ack! It's still got its eyes on Mr. Rimuru! Wait, it's trying to protect the wall from Mr. Rimuru's attack. That must mean that this monster is trying to buy time until the wall regenerates. Now, finish it! I've got this, Sword Princess. Okay, here goes! First, let's break the wall. Take this! It's taking our attacks and still trying to protect the wall. Whoa! The ceiling's crumbling from the impact! Goddess! Don't worry, Belle! More importantly, that thing's been staring at me! So not only is it after Rimuru, all the monsters have been after Hestia. I'm guessing they sense her godly energy or the strong magic coming from her. That's because you're being loud. It's distracted. Do it, Miss Eyes. Lil Rafaga. Alright, Beelzebub. Pant. Yay! We did it! Mr. Rimuru! The way Great Rimuru broke the wall, while Belle and the others held the magical beast back. It was like seeing a well-seasoned squad working together as a team. And hey, we had each other's backs out there, so there's no need for honorifics. Just call me by my name. Okay, Mr. Rimuru. I mean, Rimuru. Guys, I think we made it out safely. So this is... Yeah, it's our town. So we really are in another world. Wow! Look at this, Goddess! There's so many buildings with shapes I've never seen before. Doesn't that home look a bit like Takes? I'm guessing Takes is a god in Danmachi. Since I don't remember everyone's names, since it's been a while since I watched Season 3, but I think that's a Eastern god? Since a lot of Rimuru's stuff is modeled after Eastern/Japanese stuff, I don't exactly remember what religion or what kind of god he is. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they're looking at, is like looking at these buildings that are from Japan or have Japanese architecture and just thinking of Take's house. Wait! Mr. Crenell! Lady Hestia! Try to avoid standing out by moving around so carelessly. That thing that just came out of the building, is that supposed to be a citizen? Yep. Welcome to Tempest. I'll make sure you guys are treated like royalty. So, overall, that was a good start to the event in part 1. And now part 2 is unlocked, and then we still have the Predator battle to do. But overall, I did kind of like this so far. I didn't like how they were stuck in the dungeon, but them actually incorporating the dungeon into the collab. Because usually these collabs are always just the characters coming from their series into the slime series. The name of the series is Danmachi, or Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? So they're actually incorporating the dungeon into the plot, which is good and a nice surprise. I feel like all the characters are represented pretty well in how they act. I did feel like a lot of the characters were a little bit underused, like Aiz and Ryu. Really didn't have that much to say unless it was something to do with battle, and Hestia felt like the comic relief and didn't really add much. Like, I know she's not much of a fighter. The only thing Hestia contributed was people asking her questions because of her being a goddess, but her not really having any answers. And Bell feels like the one that got the most characterization, since he is the main character of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. As per usual, the Slime cast also got a lot of focus in their own game's events. Although I wasn't expecting Soka to also be in this event, so that was a little bit of a neat surprise, but kind of took away everyone else's time. Because having 7 characters try and take up time for one event is a monumental task to try and give them all characterization. There's still some things that they haven't shown off that I am a little surprised about. Like, they didn't show off that Rimuru was a slime, or how the characters would react to finding out that Rimuru is a demon lord. Would they care? Would they be scared? Also, Ramorous was in this event, but she was knocked out the entire time. I guess she'll probably play a role in part 2, or in the Predator battle. And are more characters going to be introduced in part 2? Like Benimaru, Soy, or Shion? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed Slime Isekai Memories. Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in Tempest? Part 1. And if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to follow me on all my social medias like my Twitter, my Twitch, my YouTube, my DLive, my TikTok, my Kick, Rumble, Odyssey, and Patreon. And check out my second YouTube channel. And like and comment on all my videos. And even check out my Discord. There you can stay up to date with everything I choose to do, where my streams, videos or anything else. But yeah, hope to see you guys next time. Bye.